and welcome to the CFC Talk podcast. I don't know what to start. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to start this off. Alex is not here tonight as well. I think Alex is missing out on all the fun stuff. Amart. He's left us to do this on our own. But no, Chelsea 0, Leicester City 1. That's one loss that we can talk about. The other one is the Champions League. The women, as we record, are 4-0 down against Barcelona towards the end of the match, and then we've got Leicester City coming up as well in the Premier League. All this time we were looking at CFC Dubois, we were looking at all of these threads and all of these superstitions and all of these similarities between 2021 and 2012. It's all gone to waste. It's now turning into 2008. That's what we all feared.
It really is, man. Like, it looks like everything was just going according to plan, and then just getting to the end of the season, everything just collapsed, and there's nothing we can do about it. We just hope now that we do something good in the Champions League final, because we couldn't do anything in the FA Cup final yesterday, and today seems like the women are not really. They've been better in the second half, but like it doesn't look like they'll pull through. And then that's it. In the Champions League final, we have to win it. We have to win it, because out of 3 possible trophies to get for Chelsea now, we've lost 2. So the last one we need to get it. And I think for a big to go to the level.
I blame the new kit, honestly. The last time we used this kit in a final was 2008, or the new kit in the final was 2008, and we lost that as well. So, really disappointed. Honestly, going back to the Leicester game, there's a lot to talk about. Tammy Abraham's situation, that's one of the main points. And then, of course, that Telemans goal, whether Kepa should have started or not, Mendy, would he have saved it or not, Jorginho's positioning in that goal, the winner's mentality, Chelsea losing 2 FA Cup finals in a row. A lot to talk about, honestly. And let's dive straight in firstly towards the match. And I would say below par performance. I think this was as good as Arsenal's, as good as we performed against Arsenal, or even if we performed better against Arsenal than Leicester City, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think. You see, the thing with Chelsea has always been, I don't know whether you remember, but when Lampard was in charge, I think last season, and then a little bit of this season, the way teams were beating us was they allowed us to play, and then they score, and then they defend. That's always been our problem, and it seems like that problem has come back. When Tuchel came, he brought a new system, disoriented every other team, and they couldn't find out, they didn't know how to play against us. And all of a sudden, everybody has just come back to how they've found out how to beat us, and all of a sudden they're beating us in important games too. It's not that it's not just games that don't matter. They're important games. The Arsenal game should have won, and the FA Cup too should have won, and even with the FA Cup, the way it started, it was crazy. Like, we were getting chances. So Mount was finding a lot of pockets in defense. He was finding a lot of spaces.
We weren't really getting any clinical chances though.
Yeah, but I mean, we're getting close. We're in and around their area, their penalty box. We're there a lot. It looked like the final pass to whoever it was. Final pass to Werner. Final pass to I think Werner was the one that was there, and that was always lacking. For some reason.
I think that's been the issue in our whole season. I think not just under Tuchel, but under Lampard as well. We've just lacked finishing, and you can sit here and blame Timo Werner, you can blame Kai Havertz, Pulisic, Mount, Ziyech, whoever, Tammy Abraham, Giroud, but we've just not been good enough. Like, we have just wasted so many chances. We kept saying this on the podcast, we kept saying this on every creator, Chelsea creator knows this, and we've been saying it again and again. Teams like Leicester in a final, or in a Man City in a final, or Real Madrid, these guys won't give you 10 chances a game like maybe Sheffield would do, maybe Fulham would do. And when you get that golden chance, that becomes your chance. That is the only chance you might get. We saw that against Real Madrid. Honestly, after that goal that we scored early on, Benzema came back and they scored a goal, and after that we didn't really have any threatening chances. And Chelsea aren't a team who are very favorable when they go and nil down or goal or two down. And I can't remember the last time we came back from a lead. We struggle coming back from a lead on a regular basis. Not be it any team, we go and nil down, and suddenly our heads are down low, and we forget what we're doing. And that's what we saw against Leicester. Realistically, until the 85th minute, no one really wanted to even want to score. I think there were only 2 chances from Chilwell. Those were the only 2 chances which I thought were threatening. Maybe that Mount one as well. Other than that, nothing else was actually, in my opinion, threatening enough. But it seems like even Amart's camera is giving up on this. Yeah, but again, really disappointed. And then there's a lot to talk about, right? I'm gonna start off, and I might go on a bit of a rant, which is kind of gonna happen here, because realistically, I've been kind of holding this in since the final. I said a few points in the live stream, and we were realistically meant to record yesterday, but we were all just tired. We could not get ourselves to come on camera and speak about that game. I'll begin with VAR, which is part of the game. Really frustrated with VAR. Honestly, really frustrated. It's been a season or two with VAR, and we still haven't got the decisions right. It's really concerning at how every referee does their own thing. Everyone has their own rules. There's no rule book, or there's no really any guidelines on what is a handball or not. That. Would you agree that was a handball?
Yeah, it was. It definitely was, because even though a lot of people are claiming that it wasn't intentional, it's changed the direction of the ball and gave them an advantage. So once it's not part, that part of the body is not allowed in football. So if it was involved in changing the part of the ball and changing the direction of the ball and putting it in the part of Tielemans, who scored the goal, it's definitely a handball. How can you not take that as a whole? It's definitely a handball, whether it was intentional or not. It's his hand. That's the thing. It's not like it went out or something. Like if it hit his hand and it didn't lead to a goal scoring chance, then that's it. Like I don't think anybody talk about it. But it led to a goal scoring chance and they scored. So
one kind of point which I never understood was when Thiago Silva, the same thing happened to Thiago Silva in his own half. So it wasn't even like Chelsea were going to go in and create a goal chance right from their own half, unless they were looking to play a long ball or something. But it was off Thiago Silva's foot onto his hand, and Leicester City got the foul. However, when it was our turn, they were like, you know what, let's just skip past it. And what frustrates me even more is if the referee didn't see it, VAR must have seen it. VAR is there for clear and obvious errors by the referee. How can 3 referees on the field not see an error, VAR skip past it, and just let it happen? There's no consistency. Zero consistency with VAR.
Yesterday, VAR just looked like VAR was asleep to the final minutes because they were not checking anything. They should have checked the handball. They didn't check it because I thought they were checking. Initially, I thought they were checking while the replay of the goal was going on. But the referee just allowed play, and that was it. They didn't review it, nothing. They just made the goal stand, and they didn't even check it. And it's crazy. The same thing for but when Chilwell was offside, or when Chilwell looked offside,
that was not offside. I don't care what any football fan says. That is not offside.
It's not.
Unless the referee is fine with Chilwell scoring with his elbow or even his arm. I don't care. That is not offside. And
this brings it back to what Wenger. Sorry, but this brings it back to what Wenger was proposing, the offside rule. Because what he was proposing was any part of the body that isn't can be used to score a goal, like the hands and all that. It shouldn't be considered as part, when you're measuring those lines and stuff like that, it shouldn't be considered because you can't score with your hands, you can't score with your elbow and stuff like that. So why do you consider it when
that's not just the issue. Okay, maybe you want to go for it, do it, but be consistent. There are referees out there who will look at it and go, you know what, it's his arm, I'll let it slide. There's no consistency. Right. Secondly, the issue I have is if you see the 2 lines, it must be at least a millimeter. That's the maximum it'll go. millimeter 2 at max. And when you freeze the frame, what are we freezing at? The offside rule states a player is offside if his run is made before the passing player has not released the ball. So if the ball is in the air or it's not in contact with the player passing it, in this case would be Reece James, it doesn't count. It is an offside. The player has to be in front of the defender when the ball is being passed. So it depends on when you pause the frame. You know,
and they choose when to pause it. They don't choose when it lets the rest put, but they choose when they choose the point where Tyrrell looked offside, and even with that he wasn't even offside. He was perfectly onside. But they chose that.
They say there's a certain percentage of uncertainty with VAR. Why aren't we taking that into consideration? It's a millimeter. You have to let it go. It's not a clear and obvious error. Like
it's a final too. It's a final.
Exactly. Like it's a game-changing moment. You can't just put someone offside or say someone's offside because it's a millimeter off, while you're not even checking when the ball was left. You're not even checking a handball offense 20 minutes back and letting them score. It annoys me. It honestly annoys me. VAR is. I'm hoping it does get scrapped, but knowing football, it's not going to happen. We can protest all we want, we can say what we want about VAR, but it just seems like we're not going to get rid of it. But other than that, I'm going to let you speak a little bit on this as well, because I feel like I'm just saying a lot of stuff. But not just VAR, but Chelsea on its own, even if we take out that VAR decision, we weren't really threatening, let's be honest. 3 chances maybe the whole game, which we could have scored. We were lacking finish again.
Yeah. And Schmeichel also made some great saves at and we really kept them in. Yeah, because Mount had a really good strike on goal and he saved it. But the thing about us playing more, like having more possession and stuff like that than them is it's just a strategy. It's a strategy that they come with. They allow us to play and then they sit back. That's something that Chelsea perfected like in the past. We knew how to do that. That's how we won the Champions League. We sat back and allowed Bayern Munich to play and that was it. That was how we played it. And until they scored in the 80 something minutes, and fortunately for us, we also equalized. But that was it. That is exactly what we were doing back then. Anytime we played Barcelona, that's what we did. They always have majority of the possession, but we somehow came out with the win until Couture recently just allowed them to score goals against us. But that was it before then. And that's what other players have also taken, like that's the strategy that they've also taken, because now we are more of a possession-based team. So once we are a possession-based team, people are going to use that strategy against us, and that's what they are doing. That's what Arsenal, that's what Leicester did, and that's it. The West Brom, we completely lost the plot, but with this one, you can see that we were in the game. Both times we were in the game, but we just couldn't score because they were sitting back after their goal, and that's what happened yesterday. I like VAR aside and all those things, it was our own fault because we had some chances, we didn't take them. We were lazy in making certain passes. Some of our passes were so bad, and that's what happened yesterday. And it was our own fault, and VAR chopped it off, and we lost.
Yeah, I think we were just not clinical enough. We Werner has lacked it, and Werner has lacked finishing. Along with that, what surprises me is you're bringing on Olivier Giroud in the 70th minute of a game where we need someone who is active enough to run around. No disrespect for Olivier Giroud, but he's not the man you bring on when you need a goal in the 80th minute and against a team who are defending with 6 or 7 players. Against Leicester City, who's got the height in defense. Yes, he's incredible with headers. Honestly, he's one of the when he's in form, he's one of the best strikers still in the Premier League, or for Chelsea at least. But when he's not, and when he's struggling, and when you put him against teams who have height advantage, who have players like Sion-Shu, who's playing yesterday, who's very dangerous against our set pieces as well, you don't put him on. You bring on Tammy Abraham, and that's another situation which has been popping up on everyone's feeds. And Tammy Abraham's situation is very frustrating. It's very much similar to Maury's at the moment. I think I just don't know what to say about Tammy Abraham. Our joint top scorer hasn't played in a month or two. Top scorer last season, top scorer the season before, and yet people have the audacity to call him disrespectful. Yet people have the audacity to say he doesn't have any character, any type of urgency to play for Chelsea. The guy's been trying. I mean, he's 24. He doesn't want to be competing for third choice or second choice. He wants to be first choice on a daily basis. He wants to make sure he wants to make sure Tuchel picks him over any single striker on that team. You know, there's in the last 2 months, Havertz has played more as a striker than Tammy Abraham, and he's not even a striker. He's a centre attacking midfielder. So that just says something about this. And it's a very frustrating situation because he's got the potential. He had 20 plus goals the last 2 seasons. He's the joint top scorer this season, and yet we don't even hear a single thing. All Tuchel said about Tammy Abraham is that it's a difficult decision, but he had to do it, which makes no sense. 3 left wing backs on the bench. 3 left wing backs. We had Emerson, we had Chilwell, and we had, I think Alonso was on the team, and I think there was another one. 3 left wingers in the squad. And there wasn't space for Tammy Abraham. You're joking. I think this is what annoyed me really a lot. Like, honestly, before the game, I thought, yes, maybe this is Werner's game because Leicester play with a high line. But they, as you said, they did a Chelsea. They sat back. They waited for us to come attack and make errors, and we did that, and we let them score. You know, an error led to an Arsenal goal. An error led to a Leicester goal. How long before that becomes a reoccurring theme? And I'm sure Tuchel must have ripped apart this team today. Today must have been a very tough practice for all these guys if they went to practice. If not, then they must have heard something from Tuchel last night, because he didn't look one bit happy from this performance. And
I hope he did. Yeah, to be honest, I hope he yeah, because he was defending them a lot in the interview. So I really hope he went back to the dressing room and he really gave them a hard talk, like the way he's saying hard decisions. And I don't know, like with the issue of Tammy Abraham, I've been saying this. You guys know I've been saying this so many times, but this guy deserves a chance, and I've been treating it as well. Like, this guy deserves a chance. I don't know why. It reminds me of the Tomori situation, and we didn't like the Tomori situation as well. It's not like we're going to say
we still don't like it. We still want. We still hope. Chelsea fans still want him back. He comes back. Yeah.
Yeah, because I really wish this Champions League squad, he was part of it, to also lift that trophy if we win. And like, if with the Tomori case, we didn't know what was happening, but he was just put aside. He was one of our better defenders, but he wasn't playing. And the same situation now with Tammy. And I feel like the background thing, like what the Athletic released some time back, that he wasn't happy with the fact that we were bringing in a new striker. Because for me, it makes sense, because I'm your top striker, and we've already gotten Werner to come and compete with me. Werner didn't work, and then instead of using me, we are using Havertz as a striker, and then on top of that, we are going to bring another striker again. Then you are indirectly telling me to leave. So I understand if he got angry and said some things, or he like what people are saying, disrespected people or something like that. But he's our top scorer, and in the competition, he's the competition's top scorer. He couldn't even make the bench. Like, if he was disrespectful to you, you're also being disrespectful to him for putting him out of the team. Not even the bench.
A cup keeper. We were hearing a lot about this. A cup keeper. Kepa has to play. Kepa deserves. Kepa played. Where is Tammy? Tammy was our cup striker. Where is Tammy? If our cup keeper plays,
if we all say Kepa deserved it because of his performance, if it was his performances in previous games, then Tammy also has to play, because Tammy is the one who was scoring the goals. But it's crazy why he even played Tammy and the thing didn't work out. I'm not saying that if Tammy was in the game, Tammy would do anything better, but I'm just saying that like Tammy should have been in the squad. And with the changes, I'm sorry if we are jumping around. Like,
no, I mean, honestly, this whole podcast is probably going to be a rant. This is probably going to be a rant, and it's fine, because there's so much to say. And just to add on to your point, I would have rather had Tammy in that situation than Giroud on the field. We had 5 substitutions, and we brought on Giroud, and we had to bring on Chilwell. He was meant to start the game. He was not meant to be on the bench.
So the thing about substitutions is that he waited way too long to make those substitutions. Those substitutions should have happened immediately after halftime, because Ziyech wasn't he wasn't on his best yesterday. He was very very poor, and Werner also was very very poor. So why don't you change one of them earlier? And it was even more shocking that he played with Werner still on the field, and he got what's his name, Havertz on, he got Giroud on, with all of them on the field. And to be honest, when Chilwell scored the goal, the one thing I was happy about was that at that point they had brought so many defenders, and we had brought so many attackers. So if that goal was allowed, we would have had the advantage. But unfortunately, he wasn't allowed, and he made those changes way too late, because the same poor performances happened in the second half as well, and that's what happened. And yesterday was just crazy. I don't know why we even did that, and it's just crazy. And the kids, I don't want to really go talk about the kids yesterday, but
we'll leave the kids for next time.
We put the kids on today too, and then
we'll leave the kids on for next time.
We put the kids on today too, and we've lost 5-0 to Barcelona. It's crazy.
No, I mean, I'm looking at I'm comparing the lineup that we had against against Arsenal, compared to the lineup that we had against Leicester City, and we were meant to prioritize. Let me get this straight before anyone says anything. Tuchel admitted he's going to prioritize the FA Cup final over this, and I'm kind of thinking, why was Havertz? Sorry, Tuchel. Tuchel was saying. Tuchel said. Yeah, Tuchel said that he wanted to. Basically, he was prioritizing the Leicester game over Arsenal. Why was Christian Pulisic playing in the Arsenal game? He should have started in the FA Cup final. We've always known Havertz and Werner click on really well. We knew there's these kind of partnerships that have been building where it's either Pulisic Mount Havertz, or Havertz Mount and Werner. And this is the only kind of two things that have been working recently, or in the past few games. And he goes, you know what? No, I'm going to mix both of them together, mess them up, and not have them work at all. I don't know why Ziyech was on the pitch. Pulisic should have started that game. It was his game. I think Chilwell should have started as well. I don't know why he was playing in the Arsenal game. Honestly, he should have been rested for FA Cup final if that was the case, because Alonso didn't deserve to start this one. Chilwell, we saw how much impact he had. He had a great chance at Schmeichel, which was saved. He had another chance which was offside, and he was passing it well. He was playing it around well, and he was finding good positions. It's a Champions League. It's not a Champions League. It's a FA Cup It's a FA Cup final. You don't just rotate the squad. You have to play with your good players. You rotate the squad next Leicester City game. You play Alonso, Emerson. You play Aspie. All of these guys in the next squad. And also, let's talk about Aspie laughing at the end. Did you see that at the
in the interview?
It breaks me to say this. I mean, I've always we've talked so highly about Aspie, and we've said how good of a captain he is, how he's been so amazing. But honestly, that interview ticked me off. That interview really and it really is an eye opener. And really showed how when we were captained by John Terry, we had Lampard in the squad, Drogba in the squad, and these guys would have ripped apart any youngster on the team who wouldn't have played well. And here we have Aspie laughing in front of the media. I know we said that against Real Madrid when Hazard did the same thing, but that's a different case. He's meeting his own friends. You don't talk about a loss, and you don't come out and say we played well. You lost a game. You had 3 chances which were threatening out of however many you had in the game.
I mean, with the Aspie thing, for me, I'm sorry, but I feel like a lot of people are exaggerating a bit, because Aspie, it's not like Aspie has not been at the club for a long time. He has been at the club for a long time. We've gone through losses and seen how he has behaved through the losses. So I feel like him laughing in this interview or smiling in this interview, we should just let him off the hook, because we've seen him in other games where we've lost, and we've seen his reaction to the team, towards the team and stuff like that. And I feel like it's just one of those things where if you don't laugh, you get angry. If you don't laugh, you cry. Those kind of things. So I think it was him, the camaraderie he had between the rapport he had between him and the interviewee. That's why he was doing the interviewer. The interviewer. That's why he was doing what he was. I can't even speak. And yeah, so that was the thing. Like it's. I know a lot of people want to put they want to put blame somewhere, but the thing is, we were bad. We were very
We
very
blame the
bad in the
kids. We blame the kids. That's it.
Yeah. If you're going to put it anywhere, put it on the kids and then just let it go. That's it. Because the issue with Aspi said yes, we played well, which was totally wrong. We didn't play well. We didn't play well. Like what use is playing well if you don't win? And then Tuchel also came out to say the same thing.
He needs to look back at the Man City game. He needs to look back at the Atletico game, the Porto and the Real Madrid games.
Yeah.
That's when we played well.
That's when we played well. That's exactly what I was about to say. Because I was about to say that Tuchel has had good performances at Chelsea when he came. We've had excellent games at Chelsea when he came. So how is he saying that this game is the perfect game? Like how is he saying this game he played well? Like it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. I think he was just saving the players or protecting the players, but we messed up. And I think this is welcome to England. This is welcome to England. This is welcome to Chelsea because he's now seen how the FA treats Chelsea. He's now seen how the media will treat Chelsea from now on. He's supposed to put on a war mentality going on because it's us against the rest of England. So he needs to put on a war mentality going on because I mean it's just even when we were televising yesterday, it was only once. I think once or twice where they showed like the Chelsea fans, and both times the first time was when Tielemans scored, and then they were showing the reaction, and the second time was when the goal was disallowed, and they were showing the Chelsea reaction. But throughout the whole game,
we did
they were showing the Leicester. Yeah.
Go on the live stream we did yesterday, and I can't mention the amount of times Matthew and I and Ameya as well, all three of us said, "Where are the Chelsea fans? Where are the Chelsea fans?" And every time we would have the same response: "Oh, maybe because everyone's wearing blue, you can't see it. You can't see the difference." But you just didn't see that. I'm not saying it's the fans' fault for not making noise or they're not showing up. It's the agenda against Chelsea is pretty much clear. Look at the final last year. We got a red card for no reason. Honestly, sure.
Wrongful giving.
Exactly. Happened to us this final as well. There's no media coverage for Chelsea. Okay, almost. It's like the world against us, and it's pretty much been the case because Roman Abramovich has come in, invested so much, and he loves this club so much that unlike other owners, he's invested in this club, and now we've become successful. Everyone hates us. And it's not like, yes, Arsenal owners have come in and invested, and it's just not as much as Chelsea's. They just haven't seen as much success as Chelsea's seen in the last 10 years, 12 years. Oh, not just that, but 20 years of under the Roman. Almost every year we've won a trophy, or at least done something remarkable every year almost, and it's just been that these last 3 years have been a rough patch, and luckily we found Lampard in at the right time who took us to top four. Tuchel came in, he made it seem like everything was going to be possible again, and now suddenly it's just gone all downhill again. And now after the Arsenal game we were a bit nervous about this FA Cup final, and now after this we've got zero hopes for the Champions League final. I think. Like honestly, we're as a Chelsea fan, I can sit here and say, if we played the way we played against Leicester or Arsenal, we're getting battered 6-0 against City. They're not going to stop.
Definitely. I mean, like, you see the thing. When we play against City, we play like how Leicester and Arsenal did. I don't know if you noticed, but when we play against City, we rather sit back and let them play, and then we play on the counter. So I don't know why against Arsenal and Leicester, we were the ones playing on the counter, or we were the ones having possession, and they were the ones sitting back. Why don't you use the same strategy we play? Is it that we didn't respect them?
70% possession that day.
Yeah, is it that we didn't respect them enough, or we didn't respect Leicester City enough, but we somehow respect them, or we're afraid of City enough to be able to sit back instead of having the possession? Like why? Like it's a Chelsea style of play. Fans don't really care how well we play, or fans don't really care how beautiful we play. We just want the win. We just want the scoreline at the end to say Chelsea won. That's it. But like for some reason we want to play good football. We want to play flashy football.
Exactly.
And then we play flashy football, and then after that, then like we just sit, we just lose. But if you lose, what's the use of playing flashy football in the first place?
It's
It's
like
very frustrating to think about it, but like it's happened and it's just crazy, man.
I don't think any Chelsea fan wants to see 5 goals in a Champions League final or in any game at this point. Just sit back, defend for 90 minutes, score a goal, play the Mourinho way, defend your hearts out. No one cares. It's the 3 points that matters. It doesn't matter if you score 10 goals or 1 goal. You're still going to get the same 3 points. Just secure the 3 points against Leicester, secure the 3 points again against Aston Villa, save the season, and then concentrate on Man City. You know, there's just we've done it. It's not like the worst part is, and what hurts the most is when you have this false hope, and I guess that's been given once we defeated Atletico, and then we proceeded to play against Real Madrid and defeated them. Man City defeated them twice. Liverpool as well. And when you defeat teams like this, you kind of think, oh, you know what, this is going to be easy. When we can do it against world-class teams, and no disrespect to Leicester, they've been incredible this season, but honestly, compared to Atletico, compared to Real Madrid or Man City, the way they've played, they're not as good. And technically, let's be honest, all of us were really confident going into this final. We were like, yes, this is coming home. We might win our 9th FA Cup title. And I guess,
yeah,
blame it. We could sit here.
Sorry, the thing
you go for it. Go for it.
Yeah. Sorry, but the thing I want to say is that like we were definitely confident. But I remember at least we had worries because of how we performed against Arsenal. And I remember people saying on Twitter and stuff like that doesn't mean that we played badly against Arsenal, so we played badly against Leicester. It's by all means would worry any fan who has just seen their team lose to one of the worst Arsenal teams ever. Going into an FA Cup, to definitely worry a fan.
Not just once, twice. We've done the double.
Twice, with 2 different managers, and it's definitely a fair assessment for any fan to make and say that okay, we didn't play well in this game, so the next game might be the same. So I'm worried. That's just up to the manager to do something different, and that's what we hope to happen. And that's what right now a lot of Chelsea fans are not even confident that we can win the Champions League with the way we are playing. But I'm just hoping that thing doesn't work out. And also with Tuchel too, I'm also praying that next season, I'm hoping that next season he doesn't be a one-trick pony like what he's doing this season. But this season it seems like he's playing the 3 at the back, and then that's it. And the 3 at the back, the problem with playing that one system is that once that system has been figured out by opposition players, that's it. You are lost. If you don't have any other thing to fall back on, you are lost. And I'm just hoping that it doesn't go next season with just one style of play. We need to have at least 2. We need to play a 4 at the back at the same time play a 3 at the back. We need to rotate so the teams will not be will not be so predictable to opposition teams.
The scariest thing for me this season so far, or this is what I can imagine, is missing out on top 4 and then relying on the Champions League final to get back into the Champions League next season. It'll be devastating to watch those 90 minutes. It'll be hell. Like, it will be very hard for me to watch those 90 minutes. If Chelsea mess up these 2 games, not manage to get top 4, and depend on that title, on that UCL title, to get back into the Champions League next year, it will be very much like hell, honestly. But yeah, that situation will mirror the 2012 situation perfectly. Then, because I remember watching that final, and I was like, I remember watching that 2012. I remember when he said that. I just remembered watching that 2012 final with the same mentality, because I was really, really pressured. I was like, if we didn't win that game, we wouldn't have qualified for the Champions League the next season. The sweet thing about that was that because we qualified, Spurs couldn't make it in the Champions League next season. They were kicked out, and that was the cherry on top. So if we can do it again and kick Liverpool out, that would be good. I can't sit here for 90 minutes and just look at a football screen and see our dreams for this season collapse, and then the next season as well. It just, because realistically our transfer window signings depend on this. Haaland wouldn't want to come here. Lukaku might not want to come here. Inter have got such a good squad. They'll be competitors next year for the Champions League, so they will want to stay there.
I don't even think Lukaku was even coming in the first place.
No, I think that's the rumors. I think there are rumors. There are rumors about.
He seems very happy there. He seems very happy there. That's why. Yeah. Because if somebody will move, probably Haaland. Haaland will move, I think, because he's the younger one, and Dortmund have a reputation of selling their best assets at high prices.
What concerns me at the moment, actually, is that we're targeting Haaland, we're targeting Lukaku, Sancho's in there as well, yet we don't care about our midfield. We've got an aging Kante, and no offense to him, but we need to somehow find a replacement soon. We need to support Kante. He can't play every single game of the season. Jorginho has his bad days, and we need someone like Declan Rice to come in. You know, a few weeks back, yes, there were a few people saying, "Oh, we don't need Declan." We need Declan Rice. We need it. Kante can't play 50, 60 games a season. You know, and if you've got Declan Rice, automatically he gets dropped off. Jorginho, and we could see the impact. And this might be a bit away from this the Kante and Declan Rice situation, but we could see the effect Kovacic has on the game. His ball handling, the way he brings the ball forward, we were missing that. Honestly, there was no one to help us get the ball back into that, and Mount was struggling because of that as well, in my opinion. I think, honestly, it was just the best way to put it, or the one-liner that to kind of sum up that performance is, we could sit here and blame VAR, we could sit here and blame the choices, but realistically, it was just ourselves letting us down. Whoever was put on that pitch should have done something. We know Werner is capable of what he's capable of doing, what Ziyech is capable of doing. These guys, the reason you pay high prices for them is for them to show up on the final day, for them to go, you know what, this is where I will step up. This is where I will. Fernando Torres, remember that goal when he scored against Barcelona, and Gary Neville said 50 million repaid? It was honestly repaid.
Yeah, of course. I think his legendary status was cemented there and then.
Exactly.
Like, I still consider Torres as a legend. I know a lot of Chelsea hierarchy still consider him as a legend.
I don't consider him a legend, but I consider him a good Chelsea player because of that goal.
Yeah, but like that's a different conversation. But like on the Declan issue, on the Declan Rice issue, I've always wanted Declan Rice at Chelsea. I think one of the things that I was afraid of when Lampard left was that we stop going after him, and then all of a sudden Jorginho started playing well, Kante, Kovacic, they all started playing well. So it was like, okay, then probably we don't need him, but we've always needed a player like Declan Rice, especially as young as he is and as good as he is. We've always needed him, and to be honest, for me, I'll take him over Jorginho any day. But that's also a different argument. But yesterday, Jorginho wasn't his best at all. And I think it was only like the whole game. I think it was Reece, Kante, and Mount that had standout performances. I think Reece, apart from the misplaced pass that eventually led to the goal, I think that was the blip that he made. But I think one area that Tuchel did extremely well yesterday was putting Reece at the back and for him to guard Vardy, because Vardy didn't do anything throughout the whole game. Like Reece really like soldiered him. Yeah, he did. He pocketed him yesterday, but he really, like, apart from that, I think the mistake from like, in my opinion, like, the mistake he made was that instead of putting Ashley, moving him further forward, he could have used hudson-odoi there or something. But considering the way hudson-odoi performed against Arsenal, I don't blame him for not using him and using Ashley instead, because it seems like Ashley offered more in the Arsenal game than Hudson offered when he came on. So that's the problem. But for me, I really feel like we should go all out for Declan and try and get this player, because we really need this player. We really need this kind of player in the squad. And he's young, like you rightly said. I think he's not getting any younger. He's getting older, but it seems like he's performing at the top level still. But he will not be there forever, and we definitely need a replacement. So why don't you bring Declan in and play him alongside. The only disadvantage will be that when Declan comes in, it means Gilmore will be pushed further and further out. That's the problem. But they should find a way of playing these players, like rotating them in and out and stuff like that. But once he comes, somebody has to go, and that person that might go for me might be Jorginho. But I don't think the team would want to let him go at this point because he's had a resurgence under Tuchel, but he's had bad games too as well. So I think Declan all the way, like Declan must come in.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. That's a debate for another day. Once we head into the transfer window. But yeah, I think the final debate for tonight, or not just a debate, but does Mendy save that goal or not? If you, before you give your answer, I'll say if anyone thinks Mendy is saving that goal, honestly, you're wrong because that was a well thought strike in my opinion. You need to rewatch. For you,
for me, he does.
Look, I don't think he does.
Because look at Kepa's technique. I don't want to criticize Kepa's technique, but the ball is coming this way. But Kepa didn't go with this hand. He went for this hand. You get it. He went to this hand to try and block it.
I think it was the right.
No, I mean instead of going like this, he went like this. He tried like this to kind of clear it. And I think even when he did that, he was close. Even when he did that, he was very, very close to reaching the ball. And Mendy is taller than him. Mendy has longer arms than him. So with Mendy would have at least got some fingers close to it or saved it. That's the thing. I'm not saying it was wrong for Kepa to start. I wasn't opposed to it when Kepa started. I was kind of like actually happy with it because I felt like he had performed in the game. I was rather angry with the fact that Abraham didn't start, but I still gave Tuchel the benefit of the doubt. He knows what he's doing. He's gotten us this far. He knows what he's doing. But with Kepa starting, I didn't have any problem with it. But you can't think you can, like, how to say it. You wonder sometimes that if Mendy was there, would he save? But for me, I feel like he might have saved that. To be honest, I feel like he might have saved that because he has longer arms and he can reach those kind of shots.
I think it still goes in. In my opinion, I think it still goes in. Maybe Mendy would have saved that. I mean, again.
So wait, should I ask? Let me ask you this: do you think Kepa would have saved that Benzema shot when we played against Real Madrid?
Most likely no, because I'll say why. Because if you look at that shot, Thiago Silva or the defender on the day was in front of the ball, so it was what made it an incredible save, in my opinion, was the fact that Mendy had to look around the defender and see where the shot was going.
It was a full stretch.
And Kepa's reflexes aren't that fast, in my opinion. They're not as fast as Mendy's. So yes, that was a Mendy credit for that. But in my opinion, I think this goal goes in anyways.
No, I think Kepa's reflexes are very good because he's
not as good as I think he's as good as Mendy.
You see, the both of them have advantages. Both of them have disadvantages. Kepa's clear disadvantage is that long range shots beat him, and he can't do anything about it because of his height. But when it comes to short ranges, I've seen him make some brilliant saves for Chelsea. And then with Mendy too, Mendy also is good with long range, like short ranges, but he's best with the long range. And with the two, Kepa is better at penalties than Mendy. So they both offer certain things to the team. But I feel like Mendy is the better keeper. But I don't think Kepa has bad reflexes. Like if it was up to reflexes alone, he might probably save that. But with this, Mendy made a full stretch. And the full stretch is what helped him save that Benzema shot. Even the second one that he tipped over the crossbar. That's also something that happened because of his height. So his height is definitely an advantage. After that, we can't really take it away from him. It's an advantage. And the Kepa's lack of that height is also his disadvantage. But he didn't play, and Kepa was the one who was there, and he lost and lost it.
Yeah. Not much to say other than this for this review. Lost for words, honestly. Honestly, lost for words. It still hurts as a Chelsea fan. It still hurts you. And then we said this a few episodes back, a few weeks back when Alex was here as well. We said how awful would it be if we end up losing both finals, and even if we do get top four, it will be so draining as a Chelsea fan to kind of go through a roller coaster season and finally kind of enjoy a few weeks of glory to now be at probably the bottom of everything at the moment. And yeah, I hate the fact that like Chelsea affects my mood so much. Like today, I haven't done anything. I just sat here on my computer. I'm like, I don't want to. We were struggling to record this podcast yesterday, and today I just wanted to get done with it. It was just one of those days where you just kind of do it. And yeah, I guess that's the issue with the Leicester performance. Chelsea women's, wow. They've done the Chelsea men's as well. I think we're all.
Yeah, man. The disappointing thing is that usually they are the ones that gives us a little bit of happiness, because I remember in the past when we lose certain games badly, they often win theirs and it makes it better, because I often follow their games, and I was really hoping that today's game would change our moods, but it didn't. It really didn't. And the way we went down very, very early. I think the 3rd minute we already go down, and then there was a dubious penalty. I think the penalty claim came as a result of how the Barca striker screamed. Like she screamed as if somebody stabbed her leg with a knife. It was crazy, and I think that is what the referee did and pointed
at it. Continues.
It's serious. Like that penalty for me wasn't a penalty at all, and but they got it, and it wasn't, and they got it. But the third goal, I mean the first goal, the third goal, fourth goal, fifth goal was just down to our defending. So there's not much to complain about. Especially the fourth goal, their winger just walked into our defense, our penalty box, and just slotted across to their striker, and they scored. And what kind of complaint can you make about it? That's the thing. What kind of complaint can you make about it? Apart from their penalty, that for me wasn't a penalty. I think that was it. And I think we also had a penalty claim in the second half that wasn't given. That was also a soft penalty. If it wasn't given, if it was given, it was like, I think the Barca fans will still complain about it because it was pretty soft. But there was still a push. And that's the thing. And the week just got worse. The weekend just got worse.
Yeah, I mean,
so everything is lying on 29. Everything is lying on 29.
I said this on the live show. I said, Leicester, we need to batter them 5-0, 6-0 at this point to kind of get my mood up, because honestly, it's not one that I'm looking forward to. I just want to skip the end of the season, get done with, have a 3-month break from Chelsea, and then come back to it. August. I'm not ready for it. Not ready for it. But yeah, this is an open, I guess, plea to Nike to stop making us wear new kits in the finals. And stop making our kits from bottles. I think you've instated a Tottenham mentality in us. I think we've been bottling finals since that kit came out. Come on, it's 2 in a row. I do hope to God that we don't play in the new kit in the final, because we're the away team. I'm hoping they use the 3rd kit or the 2nd kit at this point. I don't care. I'd rather win in a Crystal Palace shirt than lose a Champions League final in that kit. And hopefully they don't release the away kit before that and we're forced to wear it. But knowing Nike, that will probably happen. Yeah. Leicester again.
As for the new kit thing, we have to stop. We have to stop doing it. Like if it's a final, you just wear the regular kit and just go on with it. That's it. Because in 2008, it cost us a league. It cost us a Champions League as well, because we wore it just before, I think, a decisive voting game, the league against voting, and we just bottled it and gave the league away. I think it was Man United who won the league that season or something like that. And then they went on to win the Champions League as well. We were wearing a new kit. So we shouldn't wear new kits in any final again. Please, Chelsea, Nike, please let's talk.
I'm lost for words. Kit, Leicester performance, Arsenal performance, drain me out. I tweeted before the women's game started, and I guess I was like, you know what? Maybe this is going to lift my mood up. A women's Champions League mood is going to win. Is going to lift my mood up. And I open the stream, and I see an own goal. Okay, you know what? 1-0. This is Chelsea. We're going to come back from it. 2-0. You know what? Still doable. 3-0. I was like, nah, it's not happening. 4-0. I was like, okay, I'm done with this game. Just close it. Just close it. I'm not surprised if it's 5 or 6-0 right now.
It's NH5.
Yeah, NH5. I think. Yeah, so, I mean, the men weren't any better. The women aren't any better. Chelsea, this is probably Chelsea's worst weekend in the history. 2 days, 2 finals, 2 losses.
It's ended 4-0.
4-0. Okay.
I think the last goal was cancelled and Salah.
Okay, disallowed. Okay. Hey, VAR, hopefully working our way. Change of luck. No, but yeah, honestly, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Honestly,
I think that sorry, but I think the only positive from us losing, it's not really a big positive, but a lot of people are saying that if Emma Hayes wins the Champions League, she might beat Chelsea. She hasn't won, so probably will be around next year to fight again and challenge for this trophy again. And hopefully win it this time.
Yeah, I hope. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but Roman Abramovich was in the final today. I'm guessing he'll be in the final for the men's one as well. So I hope that either he looks at it in a positive way and he says, you know what, this team still needs more investment. I need to invest more in this team. If we do lose, hopefully we don't. We still win, and we win, and he goes, this is your 200 million you get to spend for winning the Champions League. If we lose, he goes, this is your 200 million. I need the Champions League next season.
I don't want to annoy you, but the last time he was at the Champions League final, we won. So.
But we lost in 2008. As well.
No, 2012 he was there. I mean, we won. Yeah, so that was the last time we won the Champions League final. So I mean, he can do it again.
It's 1-1. We won 1, lost 1.
Lost 1.
Well, try not coming. Miss this one out. Call in a sick day. No, I'm sure he'll come. Because he can't come into for some reason he can't come to the UK and watch the games from home. So I'm sure he will want to come this one. So I do hope that he comes on. But yeah, Leicester City again Tuesday night. We need to humble them. We need to bring them back to level. We win and we go on top of them.
But what's if we win, what's good will they make? They still have the trophy.
It's the rematch. It's the rematch. It's the rematch without the trophy. We'll make our own trophy like the Super League. Like Perez said, we'll make our own Barcelona and PSG. We'll make our own trophy.
Now the Super League doesn't look like a bad idea, does it?
At least we get to play Barcelona and Real Madrid every year.
Every year, man. Just kidding, but we have to win that game. We definitely have to win that game.
If we lose that, I'm not going to try and be on that stream because I'm probably gonna have some work to do on that day. But if I am on the stream, I'll cry. I think I bought these a month back. I'm waiting for the day. I was gonna pop them off on the Champions League night, but I feel like this is probably gonna have to stay like this till the next year now. It's been a month. They'll have to wait till next year, man. This is disappointing.
We just have to wait. And we are playing at home too, so
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Like our home hasn't been the best of places this season, but it hasn't been a fortress. But playing at home gives us like a little bit of an advantage, and yeah. But I think like you said, we have to win this game. We definitely have to win this game. There's no way we can allow Leicester to beat us two times in a row. Nah, it's not possible. And they won a trophy off us, and then now they're doing this thing. And let me add this before I forget. I know that Amarte is a Ghanaian. I don't know how you pronounce it, but in Ghana it's Amarte. He has a similar name to mine. And Amarte is a Ghanaian, but the thing he did up with the Chelsea pennant or the Chelsea flag was so disgraceful, man. It was so disgraceful. I don't know why he did that. There's a time for everything. You can do it, but
adrenaline.
Yeah, but adrenaline is there, but you still have to show respect.
Yeah, sensibility and respect.
For me, if I were like in the hierarchy of Chelsea or in the board of Chelsea, to be honest, if you are playing against Leicester, I wouldn't bring out any pennant to give to them. I don't know whether it's done in every game, but if it's done in every game, I wouldn't bring any pennant to give to them. I will not, because they disrespected it the first time.
League, and I don't think it's done in the I can't remember if it's done in the Premier League or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's done in the Premier, but if it's done, we shouldn't give them anything. We don't give them anything because disrespected your flag or the pennant. It's crazy. Like I don't know. His thing was trending here in Ghana yesterday and today because some people were for it. Chelsea fans didn't like it, but there are a lot of Chelsea haters in the country, so a lot of Chelsea haters were praising him for what was going. But I don't know. I don't know if this even warrants any apology because you see it like it's nothing, but it's not good. It's not good at all. It's not good from him at all.
Yeah,
for somebody who can't even start, can't even start in a Leicester game, and you are doing this. Like I really, to be honest, like I really respected him. He's a very good player in the Ghanaian football team, but doing that is just so. I don't want to use stupid. It is. It really is.
I think at the end of the day, I want to end it up on a positive note, and I want to hope that Chelsea do win the rest of the games. But I want to give a big congratulations to Leicester City. Honestly, I will say they're one team who have gone through the worst of worst and the best of best in the last decade, which is great to see. And honestly, hats off to their owners. I'm not going to disrespect him by saying his name because I'll probably get it wrong. So I'll just say their owners and their board members. Like honestly, the way I saw the moment I saw the owner walk down, and I was watching the celebrations honestly because it really did hurt. But at the same time, Leicester is one team who deserved it, who deserved that FA Cup. They've been incredible this season, and the way the owner was celebrating with the team and jumping around and celebrating with the champagne and everything, it just felt so good to see owners be like that. And we guess and to kind of end it on a positive note, we need more football owners like Leicester City owners, honestly, who are open, who are considering themselves part of the team, part of the club, rather than Arsenal owners. I guess I could say partly Roman Abramovich, but the last 3 years he's not been able to enter the UK, so it's not his really fault. But yeah, I think realistically, on a happy note, just to end it, Leicester City, congratulations for that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like if we were to lose to any of the big teams in the league, I think we should have been. It's okay that we lost to Leicester because exactly what you said. Like comparing what they've gone through in the last 3 years, losing their owner to a helicopter accident. And then that owner was one of the best. I think next to Roman Abramovich in terms of how much he loved the club, how much investment he put in the club, and not just the club, because the city that Leicester is located in, like I think the Leicester city itself, he had built schools, he had built hospitals and stuff like that. He had really made the city a very wonderful place to be in. So a lot of the people in the city really, really loved him. And I think his son has taken over, and his son is also doing very, very well with the team as well. And yeah, I didn't want the celebration, but when the game ended, I just turned the TV off. I saw pictures of them walking to him and giving him the trophy, and him lifting the trophy up, and I saw how he was interacting with the fans, like you said. It was very, very beautiful. So it was painful to see that as a Chelsea fan, but like you still understood it. You understood where they were coming from. You understood how much this meant to them. And it's the first FA Cup trophy they've won in in their entire existence. So
37 years.
it's something that they remember a lot. Yes. And even though the Tillerman's goal shouldn't have stood, it's a nice way to win it. It's a very good way to win it
No,
because
honestly,
that was a brilliant shot. Yeah.
it's incredible to see the rise of Leicester. You know, we always talk about top six, big six, top six, and this year, honestly, Leicester City, West Ham, Everton, these clubs have really given all of us a competition. You know, you know, we've had a clear title race for most of the past 5 or 6, not 5 or 6, but 3 or 4 seasons, where teams always been ahead in the Premier League, and we've kind of realized, oh yeah, we're not catching up to them. But it's always been the top four, which has been interesting, and I guess luckily the Premier League is at such a high stature where their teams can step up, and this is I'm trying to say it with no disrespect to Arsenal and Tottenham, but realistically, we don't have the top six now. We have like a Big Ten, and every place you look, there's only a point or two difference gaps. You know, call us a farmers league. Do that because maybe yes, we always have the title by the 10th game week, 20th game week. We always know, oh, you know what, this team's storming ahead. They've won the title realistically. They will have a few hiccups where it will feel like, oh, maybe someone else could win it, but then they'll take it away. But then it's been interesting. And Leicester City, tough fight, great win. But we'll beat you on Tuesday night, hopefully. I will pray to God. We need this win. Chelsea, we need this win. We better go out there with the mentality to kill the game in the first 20 minutes. I don't want to see any of that, like defending or playing around or passing it or doing errors. I don't want to see any of that now. Okay, I think that's all for the episode tonight. A lot of rants, a lot of negativity from the podcast, but I guess it needed to be said. And I guess when you lose, you realize how many holes they need to be filled in, and then a lot of work still needs to be done at Chelsea. I guess these 2 losses kind of show us how easy it is to go from being probably one of favourites of winning the next year's Premier Leagues to still being probably favourites, but still having a hiccup and knowing that there's still a lot of work that needed to be done in the summer window before we can even think about next season and predicting what's going to happen there. But that's all from us tonight, mate. Guys, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for 2.25k subscribers. It's honestly incredible to have every single one of you on here. So if you guys are at the end, if you guys have reached at the end of this podcast, I want to test this out. If you guys have reached the end of the podcast, make sure to comment. What should we have then? Comment black pen. I've got a black pen that I've been using. So comment black pen if you've come to the end of the podcast. But other than that, thank you guys. Check out our social media, and we'll see you next time.